Yeah, I just seen the Breakfast Club. Jimmy popping all that. I be seeing you, Jimmy, talking about we Gucci boo boo. He in the Gucci store. Talking about we Gucci boo boo. Them like King they was going f you up, Jimmy. They was like, Marita Monero. Coca-Cola.
I created the aesthetic.
Okay.
For the diplomats. You heard? Dan and Cam's pink. You heard? He'd tell.
Nah.
All right. Sooner or later, he gonna have to tell it. Where he got the pink from.
And push me under the bus and say, I ain't start this and I ain't do that. You started pink and you made the diplomats, which is just, if people choose to believe that, then look, I got a Brooklyn, a bridge in Brooklyn I can sell you to, man. I don't know 50 said it, but I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You gotta watch to see how he responded. And then, when you see, he was funny. I thought it was funny when he said, but I didn't think it'd be a big deal because you make up with every nigga that put hands on you. But I see the pattern now. If you agree to disagree with you and don't want to take it that route because they got some genuine love for you, you keep going on and on and on.
Yo, it looks like 50 Cent is back at it, and this time he's going straight for the jugular. He's not letting up on those snitch whispers about Jim Jones, and now he's waving around new receipts like it's a courtroom.
Jim Jones, right? He ran with the same I ran with a decade before I met him. Jim Jones, the Dipset, the that was just over there dancing and on verses. Jim Jones was running with Shotty, Cafano Jordan, right? Mel Matrix, Jamel Jones, Roland Martin. He was running Fu Banger, Fuquan. I forgot his last name, Fuquan something. He was running with all of the cats I ran with and got his daddy for.
If you've been keeping up with the streets and the blogs, you already know the rumors around Jimmy being an informant ain't new. It all kicked off back when his name came up during the Tekashi 6ix9ine trial. A leaked wiretap had Jim allegedly plotting on 6ix9ine's head. But here's the crazy part. When the feds clamped down on the 9 Trey Bloods, Jimmy walked away untouched. Not a charge. Not even a slap on the wrist. So, of course, people started side-eyeing that. How's a dude get caught on tape talking gang moves and still stay clean? Something wasn't adding up.
Jimmy was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, like on the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when balling took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing. He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mace be that, and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally he had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked, and I knew I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You gotta watch to see how he responded. And then when you see, he like, oh shit. Like that. Give me this. Get me Jimmy. Yeah, tell him we want him. We want you at the show, Jimmy. Yeah, but that was one of those things I just threw it out and see what. And then when he bit to it because it was like he was having a moment that not sure that was going to ever happen again.
Fast forward to now. Jim Jones is already in a messy back and forth with Cameron, throwing subs and sneak disses online. But just when Jim thought it couldn't get any hotter, boom! 50 Cent jumps in the mix like a grenade. And this ain't just petty trolling. 50's claiming he's got real receipts that prove Jim's been working with the feds for years. The beef between Dipset legends Cameron and Jim Jones is heating up again. And this time, it's getting real personal.
I gotta start really doing that's gonna benefit me because seem like you won't want to see nobody else win.
Right.
And I need to win. I gotta win in spirit.
So,
you heard? I didn't put all this work in for nothing. You dig? I didn't teach myself how to rap for nothing. I didn't jump all on this game to be famous for nothing. I need to capitalize and be just as famous as the most famous, most successful, rich person in this game also. I'm now in the game.
I still gotta know, like, how did that work? You performing, like,
they called me like, yo, you want to come out and perform at the show? I got the hottest record, I'm popping out. And I wish they would look at me sideways, think they're gonna do anything funny. I'm with all of that. Be a boom, up. It'll be nasty in New York. That's how I was living back then. That's what I was on. I wasn't on nobody's friendship. I was in there like a pirate. What's up? What's up? That's how I was. You dig? Like, hope everybody be calm, because y'all know gonna go way left real quick. You dig? I'm here.
If you know your Dipset history, you already know these two go way back, tight like brothers one minute, throwing shots the next. Their bond has always been messy, and now, thanks to 50 Cent poking at old wounds, the drama's back on full blast.
You on my dick, right? They got nothing else to think about but Capo. I did a lot for them in their life. You heard? Both of them. Pause though. Get off my. There's only space on there for baby girl, man. Come on, man. Tugging on my like that.
So what sparked this round of chaos? Cameron had 50 Cent pull up on his podcast recently, and during the convo, Cam brought up something that's clearly been sitting on his chest since way back. He reminded 50 that during Dipset's beef with G-Unit in 2007, Jim Jones shocked everyone by popping up at one of 50's shows.
Who you are, like it's not, everybody be fitting in, objects to stand out.
When you in Dipset, is it like got all three coming together to do this? Or it's like one person as the leader is like, nah, well, this what we wearing. Was
I created the aesthetic.
Okay.
For the diplomats. You heard? Dan and Cam's pink. You heard? He'll tell you.
Nah.
All right. Sooner or later, he gonna have to tell it. Where he got the pink from.
That shit just on my child. Somebody bring me a shot.
If I'm lying, I'm flying.
Bring me a shot, please.
You can ask Damon, you can ask Cam, because those were the two people that were snapping on me when I came in and didn't get my truck.
Wow. That's some down to the pink.
Mm-hmm. I was supposed to get the caddy truck when I first got the diplomat deal. I came to the office, I had on the pink Diodoras with the pink stripe, the pink polo shirt on. You heard? And came in, the pink was just lighting up the room, but the truck didn't get delivered, so they just kept snapping on me like, oh, this nigga got all this fly shit, no Cam was like, I'm taking that pink, I'm running with this shit. He like, I'm running with it, that's fly, I'm going crazy with it. That was Cam at the time, you heard? Like whatever fits what we need, then that's what we gonna do. You heard? But that was Easter colors. I've been doing pink. Every Easter, gray and pink, gray suit, pink tie. My mom's been putting me in pink and that future and all that type. Pink has always been my color.
And when Cam pressed 50 about it, 50 didn't hold back on his thoughts. But Jim wasn't about to stay silent either. He slid over to Justin LeBoy's Respectfully podcast and gave his side of the story. Jimmy said plain and simple, his move wasn't about betrayal, it was about business. He wasn't gonna let rap beef mess with his money, and he stood 10 toes down on that decision.
You are a guardian angel and designer. What the fuck is you talking about, man? You are from the Bronx, bro. You are not from Harlem. Why do you keep thinking that you are from Harlem, bro? You are not from Harlem. I did not grow up with you, man. I did not grow up with you. Contrary to what you believe, I did not grow up with you. You are from the Bronx. Did your grandmother live? Did your grandmother live in Harlem? Yes. Did you come see her? Yes. Did I see you time to time? Yes. I did not grow up with you.
But he didn't stop there. Not even close. Jim went off, calling out both Cam and 50 for dragging his name back into the drama. According to Jim, they both owe him some serious favors. Then Jim Jones took it there. He straight up claimed he was the mastermind behind Dipset's whole aesthetic, even saying he inspired Cameron's iconic pink fur look.
Myself, Big Al, even though Mason Big Al on the same page, Bloodshed, my man Herb McGruff, we were super duper popping in the street prior to the internet. Everybody knew we was about to get a record deal. Everybody knew this. It wasn't no secret. Basically, you heard our freestyles, and you came up to me one day when I was chilling in front of the house. You said, and this word to my dead mother, yo, man, I heard the freestyles. Y'all killing. Yo, you know my grandmother died. If y'all want to come by and just hang out, y'all could. Y'all more than welcome. We like, all right, Jomo, thanks. It didn't really make sense at the time because we like, yo, where's Jomo inviting us to his house for? Even though but it didn't make sense to be going to Jomo's house. More freestyles come out. Yo, I heard the new you did. I heard the new you did. Yo, you want to come through? Come through. Why? Why are we going to Jomo's house? Cool. One day, I'm leaving Mace's house on the west side, going back to the east side. I stop at Jomo's house. His grandmother died, God bless her dad. And he had a free crib. So yeah, I would bring some over there to sometime. A little crack maybe. I'd be at everybody's house though. I live with my grandparents. My grandparents were strict. I stayed at Duke the God house. I stayed at Mace with Cuda. I stayed at her. I stayed a bunch of. I never needed nowhere to stay. You act like on your couch. You was a fan. You begged us. You are a fan.
According to Jim, he was the one who brought that flashy swagger to the crew and put the style on the map. But Cameron, he wasn't letting that fly at all. He clapped back hard on his podcast with Machi and went straight for Jimmy's neck.
You was so cool. And we was like, yo, Jomo's a nice guy. Mace like, yo, I think I'll teach him how to rap. Mace actually taught you how to rap. Literally. He taught you how to rap. You say it. Matter of fact, bring up the clip.
Mace helped me learn how to rap. Mace showed me how to rap. Mace actually showed me, he was the first person to show me how to rap. Mace actually sat me down and showed me the magic to rap.
We taught you how to rap. How you ran the whole organization. How you made Diplomat. You ain't make none of this stuff. You was a fan.
Cam didn't just respond. He ripped apart Jim's whole Dipset origin story. He called Jimmy out for straight lying about being from Harlem and acting like they were tight from day one. Cam said, point blank, Jimmy wasn't in the trenches with him growing up. That whole "we came up together" talk, fake. According to Cam, Jimmy was nowhere in sight during the early come-up days. And when Jim said he watched Ma'i's son Cam after Cam got signed to Bad Boy under Diddy, Cam shut that all the way down.
Brooklyn rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine pleaded guilty to federal charges, admitting he participated in a violent gang. He also pledged to cooperate with prosecutors. The rapper, whose legal name is Daniel Hernandez, said he joined the 9 Trey Blood Gang in the fall of 2017. He says he helped them try to kill a rival gang member last March. Prosecutors say the gang carried out acts of robbery and narcotics in Manhattan, the Bronx, and Brooklyn. The indictment also said each gang member was required to participate in at least 2 acts of conspiracy, which could include robbery, extortion, or distribution. The plea deal could allow Hernandez leniency at sentencing. He was facing a mandatory 47-year prison sentence.
Cam broke it down. By the time Jim showed up, he had already built his name in the 90s, running the streets with Mahe, Big L, and his cousin Bloodshed under the legendary crew Children of the Corn. Cam made it real clear the foundation was already laid without Jim. Then came the final jab. Cam clowned Jimmy for admitting that Mai taught him how to rap. He basically painted Jim as the little homie just trying to tag along with the cool crowd. And for a guy like Jim Jones, who takes his street rep seriously, that had to cut deep. Now, when Cam aired Jimmy out, most folks expected a wild clapback, but Jim Jones took a different route. Instead of firing shots with words, he teased a remix to his Harlem anthem.
He definitely humiliating Shawty right now, bro.
Well, you got your picture up there next to the post. When you go to YouTube and World Star, they got his picture next to the everything he say, they got a split screen with Shawty picture next to it. Shit crazy, son. But he's doing that to make K9 think he don't got no relationship with Boy. That's what he's trying to do. He trying to live. He trying to separate himself.
That's cool, but now he gotta get violated.
Yeah, super violated. Super duper. So ain't too much he can really do unless he gonna run around with 100 armed securities all day. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get shot at pay.
He ain't getting enough money for that.
That's a fact. And he just canceled all his shows.
And he ain't a gang member no more.
Nah, he ain't nothing.
That's what Shawty needs to make sure he do.
Nah,
that he's not a gang member no more. He kicked out the whip. He was never a gang member. Shawty need to expose him.
And he didn't come alone. Jimmy lined up a squad of Harlem hitters, including Jules Santana, Vado, Dave East, and even Gucci Mane. That's a power move right there. He didn't say straight up that it was a response to Cam, but the streets knew what time it was. The timing was too perfect, and that lineup, all Harlem legends, yeah, the message was loud and clear. But before things could cool off even a little, guess who jumps right back in the chaos? 50 Cent, again. But this time, he wasn't talking music. He doubled down on those federal informant rumors and threw more shade Jimmy's way. 50 hit Instagram with a photo of Jim Jones standing next to big names like Jay-Z, Diddy, Fat Joe, and more. And the caption? Savage. He wrote, LOL Individual One calling the shots out here. I know you working, so please don't say ish to me, Individual One. Now, if you're wondering who Individual One is, that's a nod to those old but still buzzing rumors that Jim might have been working with the feds during Tekashi 6ix9ine's court drama. Back in 2018, when Tekashi got locked up on major federal racketeering and firearms charges with other 9 Trey members, a wiretapped phone call leaked, and guess who was allegedly on it? Jim Jones. In the call, he was supposedly saying 6ix9ine ain't a gang member no more and needed to get violated. That statement alone had people side-eyeing everything.
Jim Jones, right? He ran with the same I ran with a decade before I met him. Jim Jones, the Dipset, the that was just over there dancing on verses. Jim Jones was running with Shotty, Cafano Jordan, right? Mel Matrix, Jamel Jones, Roland Martin. He was running Fubanger, Fuquan. I forgot his last name, Fuquan something. He was running with all of the cats I ran with and got indebty for. You know what Jim Jones did? That nigga did not take care of none of them. Cause when I ran to them, Shotty was sleeping on the rug of Madison between Tompkins and Troop. Mel Murder was on Gates and Marcus Garvey with his baby mother. Roland Martin was just doing 9 years. He blew trial. That make them. That take care of them. From Shotty was sleeping on the rug. That driving a 6'3" Benz in 6 months, living in a condo, doing meetings with Kanye. Kanye was taking him to Yeezy meetings, board meetings. Matrix had his own. Everything on his own. His kids was eating. Roland Martin came home to a new AP, watch, money, cars, everything. That Jim Jones did not take care of none of his. I took care of him. And on top of that, Jim Jones was caught on wiretap telling Jamel, look, Jim Jones was caught on wiretap. Jim Jones was caught on wiretap on my case, he was telling the big homie Mel Matrix, Jamel Jones, to go and get rid of my security. How you do it? How you at them? They don't got no license to carry weapons, don't nothing in New York.
Wack also agrees with him and says that you can find the audio online because it was used in the trial. 6ix9ine and Wack both question why Jim Jones isn't in jail if he was caught on tape saying he was gonna kill 6ix9ine, suggesting that he must have cooperated in the trial. 6ix9ine also starts making some accusations about Desiree Perez, the CEO of Roc Nation, but Wack shuts him down before he can say too much.
And now, 50 went and dropped the actual transcript of that phone call for everyone to see, just to stir the pot even more. The feds had been building a case on the 9 Trey crew for a while, and when 6ix9ine got wrapped up in it, he wasted no time flipping. He turned government witness real quick in exchange for a lighter sentence, setting off one of the wildest courtroom snitch sagas the rap game's ever seen. During his explosive testimony in September 2019, 6ix9ine took the stand and spilled everything. He named names, detailed crimes, and threw his former gang affiliates under the bus, including Anthony Harv Ellison, Al Jeremiah, Nuke Mac, and others tied to the 9 Trey gangsta bloods. But here's where things got even messier. Jim Jones' name came up, not because 6ix9ine mentioned him, but because of wiretap recordings the feds played during trial. And in those tapes, Jim was allegedly caught having a convo with Mel Murda, one of 9 Trey's top dogs. In the recording, Jones and Mel were supposedly discussing what to do about 6ix9ine after he went public distancing himself from 9 Trey. That's when Jones allegedly said 6ix9ine needs to be violated. And a lot of folks took that as talk about possibly putting hands on 6ix9ine or worse. That tape shook things up. First, it confirmed Jim had direct ties to major 9 Trey figures. But even more shocking, he never got arrested or charged, not even questioned publicly. So the big questions started floating around. How did Jim Jones, who was caught on a federal wiretap discussing what sounded like gang retaliation, walk away without any heat? If the feds were scooping up high-level members left and right, why was Jim untouched? Naturally, this whole situation had people thinking one thing. Was Jim Jones a confidential informant? The streets were buzzing heavy with that theory, especially since no charges ever hit him after that wild wiretap leaked. And the loudest voice pushing that narrative? Wack 100. Wack didn't hold back. He straight up accused Jim of working with the feds. He said the only reason Jimmy walked free was because he was cooperating behind the scenes. Wack brought this heat to Clubhouse, interviews, and even had 6ix9ine chiming in, all demanding that Jim prove he wasn't connected to law enforcement. They didn't want denials. They wanted receipts. Wack challenged Jim to show any paperwork proving he was clean. No deals, no backdoor talking. Jim, for his part, firmly denied the claims. He called Wack 100 a flat-out liar and labeled him a clout chaser just trying to stir drama for attention. But here's the twist. While Jim was loud about his innocence, he never directly explained why he was never arrested after that wiretap went public. No statement, no court documents, nothing to fully shut the door. And officially, there's zero confirmed evidence that Jim Jones is an informant. He's never been named as a cooperating witness, and there's no public record of him testifying or helping law enforcement in any way. Still, people can't help but raise eyebrows. That wiretap was federal-level surveillance, and yet Jim stayed untouched. That silence, it only fueled more questions. Now, 50 Cent must have hit a nerve because Jimmy didn't stay quiet this time. He clapped back with a slick post, flexing poolside, no stress, and captioned it, "Why you keep on lying, LOL. Man, I'm heading back to sleep. Free Mel Matrix till it's backwards." But let's keep it real. Even with Jim Jones denying all those informant claims, a whole lot of folks still ain't convinced. Every time this topic pops up, the same question gets louder. How did Jim walk free when the rest of the crew got snatched up? And with 50 Cent constantly stirring the pot and throwing shade online, this convo isn't dying down anytime soon. One fan broke it down like this. Jim Jones, a high-ranking gang member, tells his cousin, another top gang member, to handle someone. The cousin gets locked up, but Jimmy doesn't? Nah, bro, something stinks in Denmark. And another added, 6ix9ine told the world there were more snitches. Nobody listened. Now they all waking up. It's wild, and opinions are split. Some folks are riding for Jimmy no matter what, while others are convinced there's more to the story than we're being told. But what do you think? Can Cameron and Jim Jones ever fix things? Or is Dipset really finished for good this time? And how do you feel about 50 Cent constantly bringing the heat with these informant claims? Is he exposing truth or just playing internet bully? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We need to hear from you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Trust me, it's about to get even crazier. Catch you on the next one.